Welcome back to part 3 of Building a Reputation, chapter 4 of A Thora Silentblade Tale. It was the middle of the night at this point, and the dwarf's eyes ached for a little sleep as the adrenaline wore off. There was still quite a lot of work to do though, so rest was going to have to wait. Combing through the ranch house uncovered a collection of weaponry and other mundane but useful items. The turtle and elf had even managed to find a secret tunnel at the bottom of the well, which yielded some fine elven wine as a reward. As the others brought things out to the wagon, Thora helped Allendale load all of the items up onto the cart, packing the back tightly as they filled every space available. As the two of them were about to place down 2 sets of very nice armor, the bard and rogue glanced sidelong at each other, before sharing a nod and a wink and proceeding to swap them out for their own. Decent luck that both of them found sets that could fit a dragonborn and a dwarf. The sheriff shook her head at the two of them before turning to speak with a small figure who was excitedly pointing at something in the dark. The kobold leader, Munch, had been having quite the discussion with the other members of the kobold servant force here on the ranch. Dean and Munch seemed to have come to some sort of understanding about keeping the ranch running under the kobold's leadership. The kobolds already knew how to work the place and were already living here. At least this way, they would have some say in how the business ran. And Munch had already shown he had been looking for a bigger challenge than just being someone's indentured laborer. That seemed right to Thora, a just reward for Munch, who had risked quite a lot to lead them here this night. Stepping away from the wagon to look around, Thora wandered over to the stables to see what the brigands had kept in there. Other than the usual ranching equipment, the rogue was pleased to find 3 fine riding horses. They wouldn't be winning any prizes at the fair, but they looked strong and had been treated fairly well. Thora hadn't ridden much. Dwarves didn't tend to ride horses under the mountain, but the others would certainly be glad to have a break from the back end of the wagon, especially now that they had filled it with so much equipment. Just to be sure, Thora checked with Munch to make sure he wouldn't mind letting the horses come with them. The dwarf was fairly certain the kobolds were far too small to make use of them, but this ranch was theirs now, along with everything on it, and it seemed the polite thing to ask. As Thora expected, the new ranch owner had no issue with letting go of the riding horses, and graciously offered them to the traveling group of would-be heroes. With dawn fast approaching, and a long ride ahead of them, the group retired to the ranch house to rest. Wilted Gulch could wait a few more hours.